How you doing, people? Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you guys being here as always. You know what it is, man. Welcome back to another episode of The View from the Other Side, big baby. We're dead. Know your rights. We here. Intro.
You know that I've got a girlfriend. So try to imagine how I feel when I see you in those high heels, looking ideal. And I know that you've got a boyfriend. And tell him if you don't, then I will, cause I will. And I know that it's wrong.
Karma View Media. The View from the Other Side.
Alright, my people, so this one's titled Can Police Demand Your Name and Should You Talk? Yeah, this one's from the channel The Black Belt Barrister. How you mean, blood? You get me? How you mean? He'd defend you all outside and all in the court. That's who you need, star. That's who you need. So we're gonna get straight into this one. You know what it is, guys. HBO, help a brother out. You know what I'm saying? Show that love, show that support. Need it, need it, need it. Alright guys, let's get into this. Are you ready? Of course you are. Wouldn't be here otherwise. Let's cook something.
Many people misunderstand the rules about whether or not you have to speak to the police, whether you have to give them your name, whether you have to give them your address, your date of birth, or any other details. And that's usually because people understand that there is a right to silence, but often misunderstand or confuse what the right to silence actually means, and what possible consequences exercising that right to silence might have moving forwards. So hopefully I can clear some of those things up in this video by way of general guidance. Obviously this is not intended as legal advice, and it is not intended to encourage any kind of confrontation with the police, but nonetheless help you to understand what your position is if the police stop you and talk to you. So welcome back. I'm the Black Belt Barrister, helping you to understand law. In this video, talking about the police. So do you have to speak to the police? Do you have to give them your name? Do you have to give them your address? Do you have to give them your date of birth? Do you have to answer their questions? Well, the answer is it depends. There are a couple of different situations, and between them a thin line, a thin blue line, if you will. So let's start with police officers in general. Police officers may be in uniform, they may not be in uniform. Whereas a PCSO, a police community support officer, must be in uniform if they want to stop and question you. But as a precautionary note, just because someone is in a police uniform does not necessarily mean that they are, in fact, a police officer. And if a police officer does stop you, you are perfectly entitled to ask for their warrant card and to speak to any of their colleagues. Particularly if they're in plain clothes, then of course they should produce a warrant card in any event if they stop to question you. In fact, the College of Policing's practical guide to plain clothes officers is that if they arrest someone, they should summon another colleague as soon as possible, preferably in uniform. And the Metropolitan Police say that if you are alone with a single officer and no one else arrives or no one is there, ask some searching questions, such as where are your colleagues, which station are you from, how did you get here, and are other officers going to attend? And just to restate, every officer should have a warrant card with them at all times. And police officers are also expected to carry this warrant card with them even if they are off duty, because if they intend to or need to intervene in anything else whilst they're off duty, then of course they need their warrant card as well. So if you are in any way suspicious and the person claiming to be a police officer doesn't produce a warrant card, then in light of recent news events, I would suggest that you phone the police yourself, because nothing worse can happen than what's already happening. But of course, if the person isn't really a police officer, then you would need to summon help in any event. And worse still, if you are absolutely fearing for your safety, you can scream out and call for help if you really think this person is not a police officer. So now let's talk about what the police officer or PCSO might generally stop to talk to you about. Typically, they might ask who you are, what you're doing, where you're going, where you've been, and things like this. Without more, you can refuse to answer these questions, and the police cannot arrest you for refusing to answer these questions. That's just the starting point. But this is where the thin blue line comes in. Because if the officer suspects that you're involved in some kind of antisocial behaviour or some other kind of offence, then and when asked to do so, then you must give your name and address to the police officer. And if you fail to do so, you are committing a further offence. But if the officer does have a suspicion that you've committed some kind of offence, then they must inform you of the general nature of the offence that they believe that you've committed and some kind of detail. But just informing you that they have this suspicion would be enough to then ask you for your name, address, and potentially also your date and place of birth. This is so that they can identify you in line with their inquiries. And so just to restate, in that situation, if the officer does believe or suspect that you've been involved in some kind of offence and you refuse to give those details, or in fact you give false details, and it's obvious to the officer that you've given false details or refused to give any details at all, then you are committing a further offence for which you could be arrested and charged. Equally, if you've given some details and you've been asked to remain there whilst the police officer checks and verifies the information that you've provided, then you must remain there. And again, if you don't stay there, again, you could be charged with a separate offence. If you try to remove yourself from the area, whether you've given details or not, then the police may use reasonable force to detain you whilst they verify your information. And again, if you absolutely refuse and try to get away, then you might be arrested. As to whether or not the police can stop and search you, well, they can only stop and search you in a number of situations. First and foremost, they may have a search warrant, and they will only have this if they've had reasonable evidence to obtain the search warrant in the first place. Secondly, if the officers have reasonable grounds to suspect that you've committed a crime or that you're about to commit a crime, let's say you look like you're about to steal a car or you look like you're about to burgle a house, then they might have reasonable grounds to suspect that you're about to commit one of those offences, and again, they might search you. If you want a full explanation of...
Yeah, see, sorry, I had to cut that off because I'm gonna get taken to the police station all the time because I'm not giving my name because you feel I'm going to do something. That's stupid. If I saw a Bentley and I took a picture of the Bentley and I'm looking at it, filming it and everything, and you think that means I'm trying to steal it, then I'm going to the police station because I'm not giving you my name for not doing nothing illegal. It's not illegal to take photos of stuff that's outside. That's insane. Get me? He's a barrister, so he knows the law, but I'm going to get put in a cell. You're not taking my name because you think I was involved. If I'm in a something, you get me? If I'm in a something, there's a fire, there's cameras everywhere, is what it is, innit? I was in it, so I'm gonna give my name. Everyone's got boy, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Running out of a shop. You know what I'm saying? If you've done something, no problem. If I have done nothing, I am not giving my name. I am not giving my name. We can stand here all day. Where I gotta go don't matter. You know what I'm saying? I'll make if I have to go and get my children or something, I'll make a phone call right there. Someone else can go and get them. You know what I'm saying? It's not a thing. I am not giving my information up. You're gonna have to get me back to the station, fingerprint me, blood test, whatever you can do illegally, because that's the only way that it's gonna work for me. I am not giving up nothing if I have done nothing wrong. That makes no sense to me. Get me? You could be walking outside of a house, you're looking for an address because your brethren, you come to link a girl, or you go to meet your brethren at his new house, you don't know where it is, you're outside looking, police come down the road because you're outside looking at houses. Oh, we think you're gonna rob it, give us your name. Nah, blood, that's not having it. Going to the station is what it is.
Your rights if you are being searched, I have another video on that topic which I'll put in the description below. But equally, if the officer suspects that you're a danger to yourself or you're a danger to others, or that you're carrying weaponry, particularly on school grounds, or if you're involved in any kind of terrorist activity and things like this, these might also form the grounds and the basis for a search as well. So just a brief note on the right to silence and how that differs with whether or not you have to speak to the police. Identifying yourself to the police officer is different from exercising your right to silence. So for example, if the police officer suspects that you're involved in a crime, then and asks for your name and address and date of birth and things like this, then you are required to give those details to identify yourself to the officer, and failure to do so would be an offence. But that is different from exercising your right to silence. So let's say that you are now arrested for suspicion of committing that offence. Part of the caution is that you do not have to say anything. And this means exactly that. You do not have to say anything. And this is because you are not obliged to say something that is self-incriminating. This is partly because you are not required to say something that would be self-incriminating, but also because you have the right to free legal advice before you are questioned. So the right to silence, as it were, is more to do with you not having to answer questions in any kind of interview or even questions posed to you by the police officer, aside from providing your details such as your name and address in the situations that I've just described. So when you see heated debates and discussions online as to whether or not you have to tell the police anything, including your name and address and things like this, please heed this as a caution, because it could get you into even more trouble if you refuse to give those details. If it turns out that the officer was indeed acting lawfully, you failed to cooperate, and you are then arrested and charged. So I hope this video is useful. Please share it with somebody that you think might find it useful. Don't forget to subscribe, and as always, thank you for watching.
Okay. Did not like that legal information. Obviously, he wasn't legal advice. He is a barrister, so I don't know how anything he says isn't legal advice. He's a barrister. I'm a PT. If I say something, that's a personal trainer's advice. Get me? Maybe it's because every situation is different and he can't tell you what it is. But if I'm walking down the street, minding my business, going to Tesco, and police tell me that they suspect me of robbing a bank down the road, I'm not giving you my name. I didn't do nothing. Where's your proof that I did anything? Who pointed me out? What are you talking about? Know what I'm saying? So we're gonna have to dig. I want to dig deeper into this, but I've got other videos I want to do. But let me just see this. Hold on, man, because I ain't feeling that. You know what this laptop is too small. I don't even want to mess with it. Let me go over here real quick. Hold on a minute, peoples. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Right, so I typed in I don't know, this is gonna, okay, yeah. So I typed in, you must give your name to the police even if you haven't done anything wrong, right? And it came up, you do not have to give your name and address unless the officer points out an offense he or she suspects you of committing. However, not providing your details may lead you to being detained for longer. That doesn't make any sense. So that means they can just walk up to anybody and suspect them of a crime. That doesn't make any sense. You can't, look, it says here, look, police must have reasonable grounds. These may be suspicions that you may have stolen or prohibited articles with you. Intelligence, information about a crime. They cannot stop you simply based on your age, race, nationality, your appearance, or what you're wearing, religion, or criminal. So why did you stop me then? That doesn't, not, if they can't stop me because of my race, because of my nationality, you wouldn't know, because of my race and because of my appearance or what I am wearing, why did you stop me? That makes no sense. That's what I'm saying. They making stuff all intertwangled. It doesn't make no sense. I'm not saying nothing. I'd end up in a cell. You know what I mean? I'd rather that. I'm not giving you my address, blood. I'm not giving my address to the biggest gang in the world. Are you flipping insane? That's mad. That's mad. That's like me walking through Hackney. Get me? Walking through Hackney, hit the wrong block. And group of man them like, yo, where you from? What's your name? Where you from? What? I'm not telling you where I'm from. I'm not giving you my name. I'm not giving my name to gang members, bro. That's the end of that. Get me? If I am in shit and shit pops off, you get me? I ain't got no problem, because it's been seen. There's witnesses everywhere. There's cameras everywhere. It's been seen that I'm in shit. You get me? If I don't get away, then I'm in it, innit? Is what it is. I ain't got no problem with that, but I'm not going about my daily routine. You stop me, and it's not because of what I'm wearing, it's not because of my race. So when someone says it's a black guy wearing a white t-shirt and black shorts, that can't be the reason why you stop me. They're lying. This is a lie. This is exactly why they stop you. Ah, sorry, they told us that it was someone in black shorts, white t-shirt and an afro. But they just see t-shirt, shorts. Stop him. You're not allowed to do that. A barrister said they are. If they have the suspicion that you've committed a crime, how can they have a suspicion of me committing a crime or about to? How? Someone running down the street could be about to punch someone. Do you arrest everyone who's running? Someone who's driving a car could be about to run someone over. Do you stop every car and arrest all the drivers because they're about to? None of that makes sense. I don't like none of them vague terms so them lot can do what the hell they want to do to us. We pay them to do what they want to do to us. This makes no sense. It makes no sense. We pay them for when we call you, you come and do what the fuck we told you to do. You know what I'm saying? But you do it within the guidelines of the law. The color of the law, however you want to say it. But this suspicion thing, they're all humans, so they all have different levels of suspicion. So that means someone who is literally casing a joint, someone will be like, ah, nah, he's just looking. Another person who is just looking, another police officer will be like, nah, he's casing a joint. Nah, that can't run. That can't run. You know what I mean? That makes no sense. That's actually pissed me off, man. I thought we was going to get some clarity, some info. That's just pissed me off completely. Alright people, I'm out of here, man. I don't know about you, but that pissed me off. You get me? I need to get up out of this. Stay good, stay blessed. Don't forget, people, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Yeah, like, share, comment below, tell a friend to tell a friend. And don't forget to follow me on IG. Alright, I'm out of here, man. Be good. Whoa.
Cause you're likely to wanna tell your friends how I